What up, man? We back, man. Stackin Black, okay, episode 8. And guess what? We got another special guest for you, man. I got my guy Mighty in the building.
Hey, what's good? What's good?
It's Mighty.
Hey,
it's Mighty.
Hey,
You know
it's Mighty on the Instagram.
It's Mighty. You know
So
what I
we're
mean?
going to call this show Mighty Important because there's going to be some things that we're going to talk about that it's going to get a little bit deep.
Yeah.
And so it's imperative that you pay attention, my friends.
It's all gonna be real. You know what I'm saying? He needs really no introduction. You already know my guy, man. He's out here. He's a great artist. You know what I'm saying? Always working. Great hustle. A dude that gives back to where he came from. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, we just want to we want to honor him today. We want to talk about him. We want to use our platform so he can shed light on some positivity and some of the things that he's doing, and just, you know, give some of his light to the world, man. So it's my guy Mighty, man. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just happy to be here, bro. Like I really admire y'all, man. Y'all inspire me. You know, just out here trying to be consistent, be professional, and push your own movement.
Right.
And you know, you gotta respect the energy. And when you walk into this room, when you step on Stackin Black, you can feel this energy, bro.
Right.
So bro, we just gotta make this the hottest show that y'all done dropped.
Man, you already
because
know.
when it's mighty important,
right.
they getting some gems. They getting some gems from this. So, yeah, man.
Right.
We're gonna drop some jewels. So introduce yourself, man. Let them know who you are.
Yeah.
Let them know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Let them know what's going on. Man.
Absolutely. I go by the name of Mighty. Man, born and raised in Portland, Oregon. Hip hop artist. I don't know, man. I feel like I'm a person who really, really cares about where I come from, and I want to be the light for my family, bruh. Like, I don't know about y'all, but I come from a very, very rough background, and I really wasn't given the tools. You feel what I'm saying? And so I had to build my own toolbox, and so that's kind of what you see when you follow me at ITZ Mighty on all social media platforms. But also, really, it's just about being consistent, being just the best that you can be, bro. Mighty stands for your energy and what you bring to the table. That's what I like to represent: professionalism and staying true to who you are. So yeah, man.
Hell yeah. No, that's real talk. That's one thing I can say. I met Mighty a few years ago, and I mean, you know, this is a dude that I've always respected for his hard work. You know, we admired each other for the things that we've done, and he always been 100. He's always worked hard. He always put shit together. You know what I'm saying? And he always just is making shit happen. That dude that don't really make no excuses. You know what I'm saying? Just gets out there. Fucks with the people tough, you know what I'm saying? Anybody who speaks his name is gonna be positive.
Yeah, that's right.
It's gonna be it's gonna be love, you know what I mean? And out of a lot of people that I've met in the city, and you know, people that I've been around, you know, this dude, a lot of people got love for him, and a lot of people got love for him. So y'all gonna wanna check that out.
Quick story. No joke. Black Mannequin B-Wall was literally the first person to drop anything to Laced Up PDX. When I threw the idea at him, he said, "What do you need from me? I'm pulling up." He pulled up within 30 minutes of the conversation with a backpack, you know, with t-shirts, with hats. What do the kids like? You tell me what you need. And to be absolutely frank, that's so unheard of, and that's why we're sitting in your store right now. You see what I'm saying? That's why we're here. That's because you a stand-up guy, and I think that energy attracts. You feel what I'm saying? And that's why we all sitting at the table, man. Word. You know, same with Stackin. It went back a little bit further because I met Stackin. You feel me? Like when I was on 106 at Park, I was doing the BT thing and trying to really build that bridge in the hip hop scene, right? And going to BET was a big deal. So I wanted to rep the city on my chest while I was, you know, on stage in front of 3 million people.
Yeah,
and what better way to do it than with a Portland grown, you know, homegrown brand. You feel me?
Yeah, so I was gonna say, Dave, I know you got a story or something. I know, I was gonna say, I know you got something to say. Shit,
we gonna blow the dust off the book, pull out the glasses.
Yeah, hit him with some calculated conversation.
No,
man.
I'm just gonna say that you know, I met Mighty like way back in probably like around 2012. I'm gonna guess 2012, 2013. You know. And I just remember him being a solid individual, you know, working hard, being positive, and staying consistent, you know. And so, and I was just starting to brand a little bit earlier than that, but he was the first person I wanted to actually collaborate with.
Yeah.
You know, so we chopped it up. We met up, brought Giovanni and stuff. We met up at Calamity J's.
Yeah.
Yeah, you forgot.
That nigga busted down there. We met up at Calamity J's.
Yeah, I said, Mike,
he hit me with the facts, bro.
Mike was like, oh.
We was on 108th Halsey, nigga.
Yeah. So, you know, that's how deep
My
it
face
gets.
was like, oh yeah.
But that's just that's because things stand out, and you always remember certain places and certain things based off the energy that you develop there, you know. And it was a dope interaction, and then you know, we've been tight ever since, but we did come up with the punching idea and the Stackin kick shirt, and
man, it just made sense. In the hook, I said my kicks is punching.
Yeah.
Talk about energy, bro.
Yeah.
Like the whole point of punching was a self, empowerment thing. You know, I wasn't always the biggest dude on the basketball court. You feel me? I was always underestimated, but for some reason I was on VAR. For some reason I was just, you feel me? I always had that. When you stepped up to me at a battle, you probably wasn't gonna win.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because it was this underestimated, piece that I always faced. Was something I wanted to talk about. So punching was like, if you do it, it's punching. You feel me? Like whatever you do is punching.
Right.
And when I said my kicks is punching, he was like, he just saw a vision for a T-shirt off rip, and it was like, he was like, yo, we gotta do this. This makes sense. And so, fast forward, it's on BET. I went back. You know what I'm saying? Set records on the on national television.
That's dope.
Toured the country, 57 cities. Been to 4 countries, bro. Like I don't just act like I do this. Like this is really what I do. You know what I'm saying? So
and you've been doing it for a long time, you know. And I think, like I said, that's why I said the consistency and the longevity is something that you don't often see, because people end up giving up when things don't go the way they want to go, or when they get little setbacks, obstacles, whatever.
Life happens.
You know, and so, and that's why we always say, if it's not something you love to do, then you're gonna easily quit when things get rough. You know, and that's the bottom line. And so I always respect the Mighty's vibe, his energy, his connection with energy, and his spirituality. Never once complained, never begged for support, never did nothing. Just stayed him. Just like just like we all do, but just stayed him, stayed working, stayed pushing. Those who supported him did, those who didn't, and those who didn't know, they found out. You know what I'm saying? And with that being said, it's like, you can't, and what we all pushing collectively, you can't really deny energy like that. And so we got to collaborate sooner or later. And we know it's going to happen, and we know it's inevitable, and so that's the biggest thing that, that's how we got connected in the first place. But overall, just a good human being, a good person, period. Outside of everything else, just a good person, We live in that world where you don't really, where it's hard to find just a naturally, genuinely good person that doesn't
real
want
talk
nothing from you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, real talk.
So even outside all the, the music and, the 100,000 views he got, you know what I'm saying? He's just a good person, with or without it, and being like that, you're able to handle your success. Because what's in turn though is unwavering, you know what I'm saying? And so you get a chance to go through all these things and still be the great person you've always been. So
thank you, man.
Definitely dope. So we definitely glad to have him here. We wanted to catch up with him. We know he got a lot of experience in this game, and what better for us to talk about that, break that down with somebody who's a master in it. You know what I'm saying? And really been in every little nook and cranny of this music business, trying to get shit figured out, and end up getting shit figured out.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So let's just get going, man. So,
Set it up.
So the state of hip hop, man, in Portland. Well, what you think about it, man? Are we progressing? Are we held back? I mean, do we have our own individual sound, or are we still trying to copy people from New York and
Where's
Salem?
it going, man?
We're still trying to copy from New York and Salem and shit.
Not New York, not Salem.
It's in New York and Salem. New York and Salem.
Right, look at the disparity in that.
Nigga said Salem.
Well, first of all, I think we've finally come to a sound. Yeah, I think we finally come to a sound, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm not trying to say that I did it, but I'm gonna tell you something. After Upper Left drop, I went to Bend. I was just in Bend last week, and people knew the words to Upper Left in Bend and said, "This is when Portland got a sound." People were like, the chip on your shoulder when you from the Upper Left, when you always overlooked, the way Dame felt when he was going into the playoffs, and everybody was like, he not going to the next round. Right. When Dame looked at OG1 and was like, yo, play that Upper Left. I feel like I had something to do with that with that energy. You know what I'm saying? And so the sound right now, I think has is starting to establish itself. But the state of hip hop has always been pretty solid, but there just wasn't a big enough culture yet. And so now we're into the second and third generation of it, and that is that just means it's going to start to expand. It's going to grow, and there's going to be more quality. There's going to be more opportunity for quality, and that's where things like Hip Hop Week. PDX Hip Hop Week was incredible this year. 17 events in a week with no issues. That says to the front office at the city, right, that we can be successful as a hip hop culture without no issues, without no problems. And that shows how positive we are in the community and what we can do, and the power really of spoken word over a beat. You feel me? And so I think we're really genuinely in a great spot. I feel like Cool Nuts, obviously the forefathers, OG1, folks like that, right? And then the secondary generation, which I like to say is the young OGs. That's like me and Mike Capes, Mikey Vegas, these cats. And then when you cut down to like, Young Mill and like 3 a.m. and Tyus and them, it's like there's these generational gaps that are super important because it gives people positions and people to look up to. And I think I think we're in a great spot, bro. And I'm just blessed to be a part of it. Again, being consistent is the only thing I'm ever worried about. Quality over quantity, and as long as you can always make the supporter trust you and what you about to give them, you got no problems. And we're in a great spot.
You got fans that's gonna stay at that point.
Facts.
Yeah, he
follow you.
He said a few nice little names too. He threw some nice little names.
Well, I mean that's the true education of Portland, hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And only somebody like him that's actually been in it would even know that.
Yeah.
Man, I was 15 years old. Opened up for in Vancouver. Opened up for E40, and Cool Nuts was opening up. I had X's on my hands, and I was like. Right,
they cut you off at the bar?
Bro, hell yeah, they cut me off at the bar, bro.
Right.
But I was the same height as I am right now, so it didn't really.
Right.
I'm like,
when
you said you had X in your hands, I'm like, man, what the fuck?
Yeah, bro. I was like 15 or 13, and I'll never forget. There's this picture of Cool Nuts performing, and I'm right in the front. I'm like 13 years old, bro. Like that chillaxing on the Mac shit that you heard about, that was me when I was 13 years old, bro. We made 10 racks off that though. Like we cut a real check off that. I was doing business when I was extremely young, so that's why I really know what this is. I was at all the SEI talent shows. Yeah. Like this ain't just some funny haha. Like I really does this. So
okay.
We was in the trenches. So
yeah, you say you've been preparing. You know what I'm saying? Practice makes perfect, man. That's one thing that's for damn sure. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Well, speaking of practice make perfect, man. What is kept, man? Like it's hard. It's not easy to stay consistent though, man. It's a tough game. It gets expensive. There's times you don't make money. There's times when. You know what I'm saying? There's times when you think, damn, I'm not getting the support I need, but I'm not gonna cry about it. But deep down, you got to do something.
Yeah.
What do you do to stay this long in the game, to create this longevity? Why are you still here, and how have you been able to consistently just float along, with the energy and the waves of hip hop?
Yeah, I think staying prevalent, right? The sound of hip hop changes so fast, just like fashion. Fashion changes so fast. You have to almost be ahead of the game, but you also have to be original in knowing what you stand for. Right, so the design or the presence of who you are or what your brand represents needs to be consistent.
Right.
And regardless of what changes around it. The core of hip hop has not changed. And so I think the core of my brand has not changed. When you tap into Mighty Nation, it stands for Together We Are a Mighty Nation. It really breathes what we're talking about currently, and it's never changed. But the sound of my music has matured, and it's matured with me. I think Hove obviously was somebody that taught us all that, how to grow up inside of the music and educate people on how to get there. And I'm a believer in that you lead by example. When I drop a record, I just drop my way. It's a totally different sound. But when you tap into that video and you really see the quality that I'm giving you, I'm really giving you some real game. And for the folks that do listen to me, they're really getting some gems. And I think as I'm growing and as I'm getting better, I'm not afraid to be transparent and real with the with the supporters, and in your designs, you can feel it in what you represent. When you made the food cart, that was just this groundbreaking moment. You know, it's just like these things really they stem from similar roots. They just need to they just grow and become different branches and leaves and trees. So I think it's a great it's a great thing to represent. Mighty Nation over everything. MNOE. When you hashtag on Instagram, put that down. You feel me? It's got over 30,000 mentions, so that's a great number on Instagram. Right. And again, you're a square if you ain't following me. So at ITZ Mighty right now.
Yeah, man. At ITZ Mighty, man. Y'all know what it is.
Pull up on the socials, man.
As y'all can see my guy right now, like just the whole energy, man, and how passionate he is when he's speaking. It's refreshing. But I'm saying, like, my guy's not playing by what he's saying, man. You know what I'm saying? These darts, you know what I'm saying? Every line is a dart. You know what I'm saying? Whether he's spitting. Or he giving you, you know what I'm saying, or he giving you some games. So that's beautiful, man. You know what I'm saying? These are the type of dudes that I want to be around. You know what I'm saying? These are the type of dudes that I feel like, you know, a couple years ago, I mean, I love all my friends. There's no doubt about it. I love all of them. But I feel like, you know, once I started my business and I got into just moving positively. I'm not saying I move positively every day, but as often as I can, I feel like, you know what I'm saying, it's like, the people that I want to be around changed. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's also like, it's like, I know who I don't want to be around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I just appreciate it, man, because, you know what I'm saying, no matter what, even if we don't speak it or we don't say it, like, we all motivate each other.
Thanks.
And, you know what I'm saying, I watch y'all work, you know what I'm saying, and, you know, of course, y'all probably watch me work, and we just, it's refreshing to hear somebody passionate about something, you know what I mean? Because a lot of motherfuckers ain't passionate about shit.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
Or just act like it. You feel me? Just front. I'm tired of seeing fronts. I'm tired of seeing cats just copy or try to act like they don't know who they are. Like, bruh, be who you are. Like, be who you are. Real. Like, that's what's making us win. Is we know who we are.
Right.
You know, and then don't move until you do. Like, that's, you know what I'm saying. Like,
I think the tough thing for a lot of people is, like we always say, it sounds real easy. It's 2 words: stay down. Man. It sounds easy, but it ain't. You know what I'm saying? Staying down is not easy, man. And especially, like you said, you gotta have a love for it. When you out here and life punch you in your motherfucking mouth and then kick you in your motherfucking nuts and then step on your big toe, you know what I'm saying? You gotta stay down. And I mean, you know, it is funny, but it's tough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's tough, and you gonna get tested out here. And no matter what you do, especially if you're working for yourself, you're pushing a brand, you're being an artist, there's gonna be times where you get tested. There's gonna be times where you might want to fucking kill somebody, or you might want to slap the shit out of somebody. But you gotta just be cool. Like I said, man, when it get cold, you gotta throw your jacket on, man, and just, man, weather the storm, man. Throw that mannequin black beanie on, you know what I'm saying, and just push through.
Yeah, you know, and that right there is what makes the average person want to be like everybody else.
Yeah.
You know, because of the pressure of having to be an individual and, you know, move to the beat of your own drum, which is going to obviously separate you from certain individuals, you know, and it's going to make you shine in other areas. And now you got all this extra attention on you. Yeah. And we like what we do, but, you know, it's never super comfortable always being around people who you don't understand.
Nah, you're right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a bar.
And so, you know, with that being said, you know, only the strong survive. You got to be comfortable being, you know, misunderstood. Like they say, being mocked, you know, being told you too good, being told you think you all that.
Yeah, motherfuckers be on that.
All these things, you gotta deal with, you know, and the only reason is because you an individual, you found yourself, and when people haven't found themselves, they're intimidated that you have.
No, you're right.
You know, and it gets more difficult for you to make, you know, genuine connections, and so when we get connections like these, we value them, man, and you know, we make sure we spend time with each other, we chop it up, we catch up. You know, it ain't always about business. Sometimes it's just about, you know, politicking, you know what I'm saying, and camaraderie, you know what I'm saying, and so, you know, so keep all that in mind, man. You know what I'm saying, this can be done, the work can be done, but you got to be an individual first, and again, you got to love yourself, and when society's going one way, you got to be okay with going a different way.
Real talk.
You know, and if you're not okay with that, then you might not be built for this. You know.
Well, speaking of that, you know what I'm saying? When I first started Laced Up PDX, the back to school event, do you know how many motherfuckers told me that shit wasn't gonna work? You know how many people came to me and said, "Oh, you gonna do all that? Yeah. Oh, you know how many times they done did that? Oh, it's not a first come first serve. What you gonna go buy the shoes before before the kids come to the event, that don't make no sense.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I loved the doubt. You know, I went to this networking meeting. I didn't have no cards. I had been hung over from the show the night before, but I had to be at this networking event because these big wigs and these 501c3 big wigs, these nonprofit big wigs was there. Let me tell you, man, I didn't even know how to pitch my idea, but it was raw passion.
Yeah.
I walked up to the dude in a 3-piece. You feel me? He was clean as hell. I don't even remember his name, but he never forgot me.
Yeah.
And year one, he tapped in and gave us our first $2,000 off rip, like off one phone call, off of one engagement. But it's because he recognized the passion on where that came from.
Right.
And literally, there was at least 30 to 40 doors shut in my face and red tape money being taken away because they just didn't believe in the brand and they didn't believe in what it was going to be. Now, by year 3, we tripled our numbers within 3 years, which no nonprofit does.
Yeah.
You go down before you go up. Just like business, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And we ended up going up and every year. And then when you talk about expanding from 85 kids to 220 kids to 380 kids that we're helping, that's 380 families, bro.
Yeah.
That's crazy, fam. In the numbers, I mean, you know where we at? We right there.
Right.
I didn't take it nowhere else, man.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't the goal. I wasn't some old white dude showing up in a Maserati just trying to take care of the youngsters.
Yeah.
No, I was in hoop shorts and J's and in a laced up t-shirt ready to work. And I feel like a lot of people just wasn't ready for that. Then when you tap in and you say, oh, you got Jordan brand, oh, you got Microsoft, you got State Farm, they just haven't seen passion, infiltrate the idea realm for nonprofit. They've never seen anything like that, especially in the home of sneakers, in the home of kicks, you know what I'm saying, in the home of fashion. In Portland, this is a huge fashion community. And the fact that the first 2 brands were you two, as well as shout out to Mondo's, you feel me?
Hell yeah.
Shout out to Mondo's just being on board from RIP. Like, we're feeding them, we're giving them confidence on the first day of school, and then we're also putting some clean heat on their feet. And I don't know, man. I feel like when we talk about
and we showing up handing them the stuff.
Right. And you're
the backpacks and everything. We ain't hard to find.
As a united front, though. You know what I'm saying? As a united front. And I think, when you talk about, being who you are and being solely, your own brand, Laced Up PDX was a huge flip in what I was doing, because it ain't got nothing to do with music, and people really didn't believe in that. It's cool to see now how everything has come, full circle, and I weathered the storm.
That shit grew like weeds,
bro.
Man.
Oh my, bro.
Because shit, I've been there from the gate, so that shit crazy, bro.
Bro,
that shit,
there was 520 people at our event this year, bro. 520 people. We was at capacity. They was losing their mind. Fire marshal was like, bro, y'all gotta get them out of here.
Right.
Bro, it was really that lit.
We're gonna get them up out of here with haircuts, shoes, backpacks.
Right.
Yeah, we're gonna get them up out of here.
Cuban burger.
Bro, why did it become the hottest event to go to for back to school though? People were getting haircuts to come to Laced Up PDX.
Yeah.
Because it's the flyest event in the city, bro. Like when it comes to back to school, ain't nobody doing nothing like that. The whole formula is different, and you gotta trust yourself when you in the kitchen cooking up that recipe before anybody can taste it. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I mean, this story sounds like something that I'm always, kind of pondering in my head, that people really may never understand the power of energy, and conscious thought. Because this is where it's got to start there on some level. Yeah. And if you don't believe I feel like people think it's too easy to think something into existence.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it just don't make sense. Like, what do you mean? I think about it and it happens? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It can't be that easy.
But
motherfuckers, they don't want to believe the shit that they can't do.
Right.
Yeah, right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm just keeping it real. And I don't mean they can't do it like they literally can't do it, because they could if they put their mind to it. But a lot of people, you know how it go. They're going to doubt you because they're like, that sounds like some shit that I want to do, but I'm not going to.
Yeah. You
know what I'm saying? That's what a hater says.
Yeah.
You know what? Man, fuck him. Fuck what he doing, because I probably couldn't do it, but I want to.
Yeah, right.
They're
inspired.
Yeah.
They're inspired to hate.
They're inspired first.
Yeah, right.
Because they're like, well, and then they're like, oh, well, he going to do that? Oh, well, he ain't going to do that.
Yeah. And then when you're doing it.
Oh, he going to, Oh, and then after they see it,
Bro.
then they're going to try to come up with something else.
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, well, well, he gave away 300 kicks. Well, he didn't give away 400.
Right. Or they just make some shit up, like what you saying, like, or they just literally just make shit up. There's some creative ass haters, bro. Yeah. There's some creative ass.
Oh,
haters.
he fucked with the fat bitch in high school.
Yo, that's facts. You
Nah,
know that's
real
facts.
talk.
He looked over. He was like, he
Motherfuckers
fixed
will
the
say
tablecloth. He was like, yeah, you know it. Yeah.
I'm like, you know what?
Somebody must have said that.
Hey, nah, real talk.
Yeah,
Motherfuckers will say anything. You know, the craziest thing to me is as I think about that, because like there's two type of people. There's either you get inspired, or I call it you get expired.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? You get inspired or expired. Now, when you're inspired, for instance, like I said, when my guy Mighty talks, when he's speaking so passionately about the shit, that motivates me. Like, I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? I love it, you know what I'm saying? That passion. Now, the motherfucker that's expired is gonna be like, man, I hate that shit, man. I hate how this motherfucker always talking positive shit. I hate how he getting all these views on his songs. I hate how, you know what I'm saying? I hate how everybody likes him. I hate how, and that's just...
Everything ain't positive, nigga.
Yeah. Right. Why you always gotta be on some positive shit?
I see you always on that positive shit, but fuck that shit.
That shit ain't real.
Yo, this shit ain't sweet out here.
Right.
Shit ain't sweet. Rented $1,600 for a 2-bedroom. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it's like I applaud the people who don't even pay attention to that, because you know, me and Dave, we was talking about that the other day, and it's like you can't even give attention to that shit, man. No matter what you do in life, if you're doing it, like you said, if you're doing great shit, they gonna hate. If you're doing fuck shit, they gonna hate. So they're just gonna hate. Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? Just do you, man, and be true to what you're doing, and push, man, and have tunnel vision. Don't even see the hate. You know what I'm saying? Receive the love and reciprocate it.
Well, can I touch on tunnel vision real quick?
Touch on it.
Because let me tell you something. I had tunnel vision last Saturday. I was at the Oregon Ducks game in the tunnel on the field. Bro, talk about hating. Talk about what we be like, hey, because Oregon themselves, the front office, they heard the song. They was rocking with it. They was low-key kind of hating on it. But then we guerrilla marketed all the way through. And they were like, how would you like to be on the field for the Civil War game? Bruh, I'm telling you, tunnel vision. When I was walking through the tunnel coming out to the field, players are literally seeing me like, hey, bro, flex on them. Like on some real talk. Like it surpassed the front office and went down to the field, to the players, to the kids that matter, to the people that matter, the ones that make them all that money, all that goddamn money. And they ain't paying them a cent. You feel what I'm saying? So it was just real dope. If you don't know what I'm talking about right now, FLEXX, search that shit on YouTube ASAP.
It's popping.
It's the hottest college football anthem you have ever heard. I guarantee you've never seen anything like it.
Preach.
And I'm gonna tell you something too. If you a hater, please drop a comment on YouTube. Please waste time and do that.
Preach.
And just so you know, that we averaging 3 minutes of view. So you're watching the whole thing. I see you. I see you all organically. 100,000 views. I know who you are. So man, shout out to everybody who's been rocking with us on Flex. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Oregon. You know, no hate to you. I would never hate on y'all. Never hate on the front office. But I'm gonna need those tickets for the field for the Civil War. And shout out to Marcus Mariota for nudging me and being like, hey, bro, that flex, that's crazy. So we talking about real energy and what it takes to get through. You know what I mean?
Right.
To get through that tunnel vision per se. You know.
That's right. And on top of that, you know, saying y'all keep a lookout because we're gonna be throwing a function out there together in Eugene. That's right.
Shit.
Black Mannequin Flex, Stackin Kicks, man. We got something coming. So make sure y'all.
It's gonna be mighty important.
That you be there. That you be there.
It's lit. Shout out Eugene, bro. The energy in Eugene is crazy. You know.
I went to school in Eugene. That's where I went to.
Alum, right? Alum.
Yeah. I went to college there, man, and I lived there for a while, bro. And I love Eugene. Man.
Yeah.
Like
that's Scrooge McDuck.
I learned a lot out there. That's right. Yeah. Right.
Look, swimming in the money.
And that's what I was doing out there.
This nigga was out there swimming in the money, and he was also out there telling you being a Scrooge, telling them hoes, no. Is your energy's off. You're not getting this dick, your energy's off.
That's actually being an angel. They need to hear that sometime, brother.
Look, but think how the chicks feel. They're like, oh, that's Scrooge. He ain't just throwing his dick on the crab table. He ain't just
right.
like the rest of these niggas.
right. Right.
Chicks don't like when you ain't acting like the rest of these niggas.
Man.
Right. Yeah, that's another way they hate you.
For real.
So Eugene loved him. Eugene loved him, y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all know that?
They received him.
They had a
with
soft,
open arms and mouths.
they had a soft spot for me out there. The educational system was very informative and important. But
Informative.
we proud of my brother here, man. So we wanted to have him on the show. But we got another half coming up for y'all. We finna get it popping for the second half of Stackin Black, episode 8, featuring Mighty, man.
Stay tuned, man.
Because it's mighty important that you come back.
Black Sooner.
You already know.
We're gonna have a little fun this time now. What up? We back, man. Stackin Black, episode 8. It's a mighty important in this mug. So, what up, bro?
What's up with it, man?
Oh, man, we back. We was chopping it up, man. So we want to get back to that energy we had going on.
Man, sometimes the commercial breaks be where the hottest information.
I know. I wish we would have recorded that what we was doing.
Yeah, we got deep,
He
man.
don't.
Yeah.
Hey, we got deep, but usually the commercial breaks is for weed and alcohol.
Oh, right.
You feel me? I'm just keeping it real to y'all. When we ain't on camera,
And
we're drinking and smoking weed.
No one's drinking Italian.
Shit.
Well, man, I
Tally,
appreciate
you know,
y'all having me on the Stackin Black show, bro. It's a blessing.
Yeah, man. Shit. I just want to say, all of our guests, we decide, you know what I'm saying? Me and Dave talk.
And pick.
Yeah, Asa, he don't never really trip because this nigga like, we gonna do right, but we always decide who's gonna be best to come on, who's available, of course, you know what I'm saying, and so we happy to have you here, you know what I'm saying. We want to put on people in the city that's doing amazing things, that have great work ethic and hustle and is preaching positivity and
stay
giving
positive
back.
and stay consistent, you know.
Consistency is the word, really.
Speaking of that, a lot of people are starting to ask us to get on the show, but it's like, it's hard for us to let certain people on here because their energy is kind of get weird, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And so it's like, it's got to be authentic, you know what I'm saying? We all go through issues, we all struggle with something, right. You know what I'm saying? But it's like the way you project that and the way you handle that and the way and your energy is going to be, your savior and your conviction and your faith. And if that's real, if it's real like you say it is, and you're really, really positive, then we can get through this stuff without bringing in the whole community.
Yeah. You
know what I'm saying? And so if you're not authentic with that, chances are we're not going to have you sitting here, man. You know what I'm saying? Because we need authentic people that really believe what they say they believe and really pushing this message on and offline.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? Because too many people is going back and forth and they're like, y'all won't let us on the show. We want to get on the show, but you arguing with somebody on Facebook, on social media.
Right.
You just said Portland wasn't shit.
Man.
And now you want to get on the Portland podcast.
Man.
Hey, we ain't talking about my nigga Jonte though. That's my nigga.
I didn't see that. So.
Shout out Jonte.
Yeah.
That's my dude.
Yeah. Jonte, I'm just letting you know because Jonte the type of nigga who watch this and be like, B-Wall, bro, come on, bro.
Oh no, I didn't.
Hey, you know
Jonte,
Jonte McKinnon. Jonte be like, bro, was you talking about me, bro?
Hey, he said some shit about he gonna flat everybody's tires or some shit. You better watch the fuck out.
Oh, that Jonte.
Jonte, nigga, come on, bro. You gotta come on, man. I'm gonna get man.
But we not talking about
Jonte. Yeah, we're not talking about you, niggas.
But there are some motherfuckers we talking about, and you know who you are. If you're on the other side of the camera, then you know who the hell you are.
Here's the thing. All I say is, if eventually we're gonna get everybody on the show that wants to be on.
Right.
But to help us out, if you do want to come on to the show, we always have some substance to what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? If I'm gonna just keep it real with you, no disrespect to nobody, but if you can't, you're not gonna come on the show and talk about pimping. You're not gonna come on the show and talk about swiping. You're not gonna come on the show and talk about selling dope, oxys, and perks. You know what I'm saying? So to help us out, like if you want to come on the show,
you're not gonna talk about power.
Yeah, and you're not gonna talk about no fuck shit. We're talking about positivity. So what I'm saying is, if you have your plan ready. When you talk to us, tell us what you want to come out, what you want to talk about, and then we can put it in the pot and put it in the blender and make it work. But
and be able to talk about it.
Exactly.
Bruh, like you can't just come on here and not know what the hell you doing or what you're representing. And I think that a guest. Just because they doing something don't make them a guest.
Nah,
they have to be a good guest.
Right.
They have to know what they're here for.
Yeah.
And I just think this bitch is overdue. I think I was supposed to be on here. I made the top 8 like MySpace, but hey, you feel me? Like I'm just happy to be here, man. And the energy's crazy in this building right now.
Yeah. So and we just want
speaking on energy.
We just want to keep it right, man. And so again, this ain't against nobody. We want everybody on the show who want to come on, but you got to make sure that you authentic, because what we giving to the people is authenticity, and so we can't have somebody out here that ain't real. You know what I mean? Otherwise, it's gonna taint the show a little bit.
We're not promoting no fuck shit. Period. Like, Hey, David said it nicely. We're not promoting no fuck shit. Like I said, you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna come on here onto our show and you're not gonna say no fuck shit. I don't care if you could be my family, whatever. We're preaching positivity. We're preaching hustle. We're preaching hard work. And we're trying to show love to those who we're trying to motivate. That's basically what this is for.
Yeah.
This show is to whatever industry you're in. You might be able to get motivated by Mighty, and you might do something completely different. You might be able to get motivated by David, but it's the consistency, like we continue to talk about. It's the hard work. That's them is the people that we want to profile. Them is the people that we want to use our platform to show the city and the world. You know what I'm saying? That where we come from in the city of Portland, man, there's a lot of good people and it's a lot of hard workers and a lot of people that are working on their foundation and have the blueprint to success.
Right.
And we just want to give it back. You know what I mean?
And they never hated nobody along the way. No. And that's the difference. We don't want nobody that ever hate nobody.
We don't want no negative energy.
In public, in private, offline, online. We don't want to see nobody that's hating. You can't hate Portland. You can't hate nobody in your same ministry. You can't hate
you bucking mouth bitches talking about you.
You can't hate grandma's cookies.
Yeah.
You can't be hating nothing. You talking about hate, then this ain't really for you, because we don't rock like that. Nobody we had on this show was somebody that we know and consider a hater.
No, you're right.
And there's a reason for that, because
check the schedule. Look at the schedule. Look at the schedule, man. Check
Go back.
Check every episode.
So that's the main reason. So speaking of all that, we talking about energy, we talking about love and hate, whatever. And I know that you big on energy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just as big as me.
Probably not.
That nigga serious as shit.
Yeah, probably not. But I'll tell you.
But you big on energy, bro.
I know how to manipulate it, and I know how to move it, and I know how to use it to my advantage, and I respect it, and you see what I'm saying? Like I know how to manifest in a real way.
And so, and a big part of why I like certain guests on the show is because I'm trying to display like the power of energy. You know what I'm saying? Like it's easy to look at, and to break down when you know that people are using it in different industries, that means that the formula is solid, however you decide to use it.
Right.
And so it's always important to me to get somebody on the show to talk about energy, and how it works for them, and the fact that it is crucial to the outcomes of your success.
Yeah. I think not everyone can see themselves at the end game in chasing success, right. and that's okay. I'm all right with that. That's not something everyone's gonna understand. Right. I don't expect that from the people around me, because obviously we know a team takes all kinds of players, all kinds of role players to get to a championship, right? Yeah. And the 3-point shooter, you know what I'm saying, might not know how to play in a championship game, but the ball handler, you feel me, the star player, the franchise player, he knows. So it really falls down to I truly believe that the world favors those who run towards it. Regardless of what is in the way. How relentless can you be? I was having a conversation with my mother, and I told her, I said, my mom was her memory was skewed because of how she was so embarrassed of what we went through, and she didn't realize that we were homeless for 8 years. I was like, Mom, you do realize that if we sleeping in the basement of my uncle's house, we don't have nowhere to live. Yeah. Like, you don't have nothing. Yeah. You feel me? I'm scared to make too much noise sneaking through the kitchen, right? To get into the motherfucking fridge because
this ain't our house.
Because this ain't my crib. Yeah. And I'm in the backseat of the Buick cold as shit, bruh. Like, and I just don't want to do that. So I think You know, it's easy to lose sight, and I watch my mom not remember these things. And when I'm reminding her, I'm not doing it to negatively impact what her vision and her energy, but I'm trying to remind her as to how strong she is and what all she made it through, and that the world can favor what you want if you just don't stop running towards it, even when you feel down and out. And so I think that's all my energy has ever really projected and represented, is that a relentlessness, man, that like no matter what tool I was using, I was going to make that bitch work.
Right. Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. That's powerful. I love it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
It's real.
We all, you know what I'm saying? We all built off our experiences.
Right.
That's life. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, you know, like, and we all go through different things, and we go through them in different times. You know what I'm saying?
Well, success comes from that, and I don't mean to cut you off, but the success comes from that because you learn how to win and be gracious with it.
Yeah.
Like you learn how to, you know, it's like early on, of course, if you start winning, you know, you realize, damn, I shouldn't have done that with the trophy, or I shouldn't have treated these motherfuckers like that. And it's like you start to learn, and as long as you're listening and respecting the energy, then you realize, okay, there's a graceful way to win. There's once you reach certain goals,
you're right.
You know, you have to realize that you didn't do that shit alone. You feel what I'm saying? Black Mannequin ain't here just because of B Wall. There's a lot of other motherfucking steps along the way that some didn't go right. And
there's a lot of branches to my tree.
Facts. And so you got to respect the root of it all. And I genuinely think that energy does dictate your success, but only if you're relentless in making sure that it's involved in all processes in getting there.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. No, I agree 100%. That's why I feel like, you know what I'm saying, people tell me all the time, they be like, man, you know, Black Mannequin, da-da-da, Black Mannequin this, Black Mannequin that. And I be like, man, I feel you, but I'm like, I tell people all the time, like, you don't see how hard my team works. And the whole thing is, you might think that I do all this shit because I'm the face, but without Natalia Riley, without, you know what I'm saying, my team, without my photographers, without the models, without the city.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All the people that wear my shit, speak good on it, represent it. You know what I'm saying? It's a collective effort. You know what I mean? So
I've worn a Black Mannequin anything in every single music video I've dropped in the last 2 years. I've worn Black Mannequin on purpose because that's energy. That was me looking and being purposeful of incorporating tangible, real energy that I believe in. And if you don't do that, then I don't know. I just feel like if you don't respect that, your whole perspective is whack. You know what I mean? Shout out to Ho.
Real talk.
A big part of it, you know, is believing in something bigger than yourself, you know, and I think that's where the energy comes in. That's where the universe comes in. That's where your spirituality comes in. That's where your decision making becomes a little bit easier because you give it up to the bigger purpose. Where people fail at often, I believe, is trying to make their own decisions and question the universe on its goals and its direction. And I think what we must understand what we must understand as people is that the universe actually protects you when you won't. You know? And so if you can be loyal to something bigger than yourself, you're loyal to the universe, which means that you're loyal to the protection of you and where you're going. When you don't have that protection, you're making decisions on your own, you know, based off, you know, unrealistic circumstances that really can't last and aren't authentic in your life. And then you get hurt. And then people keep asking, why is my life like this? Why does the world hate me? It's not that the world hates you, it's that, you know, more or less you hate the world. You know, and the way you know, project your energy and your disloyalty to the universe is what's showing that.
It just bounced right off and come right back to you.
You know, so we all got to keep that in mind, you know, and I really do believe that that's been a great strategy probably in all of our successes. And, you know, I really hope that people get more in tune to the bigger picture and stop making them tough decisions by yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and don't assume that it's all shits and giggles, bro. Like, it's not all fun all the time, bro.
Hell
like,
no.
fuck. I hate that motherfuckers just like associate success with just fun.
Well,
what the fuck? Who said success was just fun? No, success are these alternate concepts that can't be defined by an item or a product. No, man. Look at the internal workings, man, and then tell me about it. Then talk to me about it, because the universe will will respect you more if you look into it. You know, not just this surface piece, and that's the problem. Everybody got this surface idea of what everything is on Instagram and on Facebook. You seeing the highlights of a motherfucker life, and that's not what that ain't it. Because you know he might be in the chamber, you know, recovering for 3 days, and he don't want to.
Right. Hey, look, no, you're right. Look, I'm just saying. No, you're right. I'm gonna keep it real. If they had the picture of success in the dictionary, it should be a picture of a motherfucker that just beat up and battered.
Right.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? And motherfuckers feel like shit is sweet. It should have a picture of a motherfucker that got a black eye, a fucking broke ankle, he got a fucking busted knee, arm broke, 3 fingers. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And he's still fighting, but he's still fighting. He's still active. He's still fighting.
But he's still alive.
Yeah, right.
And,
you know what I'm saying?
And he knows it will heal.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And while it's healing, he's still putting in the work and not quitting because of the pain he's going through. When the average person will quit.
And from everything, and for each bone that heal, is he gonna learn a lesson?
Man.
And some bones come back stronger.
Exactly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Nigga come back like Russell Westbrook. Remember that nigga knee? Remember when he fucked up his knee? Nigga came back and averaged a triple-double. Nigga was flying through the fucking air like a squirrel.
Jumping out the
roof.
This
nigga got hurt. They was like, oh, we don't know if he's gonna be the same. The nigga came back like a goddamn like an NBA 2K player. This nigga's flying through the air on niggas.
He was dunking harder after the injury. Like, bro, what the fuck? Yeah, no,
that nigga's
a
fucking freak of nature. But man, you know what I'm saying? Like he said, and that's just that perfect example. Sometimes bones come back stronger.
And that's also fear, you know, and I think that stems from experiences when you're not trauma informed and you don't understand that everybody's experiences are based on their trauma in their life. Everybody has their own version of that. That will dictate how you deal with things. And so there's just some special people in this world too that I believe that like they take trauma and it is literally the formula for being great. Because you take all of that and you mix it with the respect of the energy and universe and spirituality and trusting something larger than you, and it becomes this unbreakable confidence in yourself. And they have no idea what it means because they never trusted the trauma.
Nah, you're right.
You gotta trust the trauma.
You got to.
I'm not disloyal to my mother because she left, when I was a kid. Yeah. We remedied that, and I showed her that no matter what it took, with no male representation anywhere in my life. My father was in prison. You feel what I'm saying? And there's blood all over the living room because he beating her to oblivion, bro. Like, I'm telling you, like, this ain't even. I should not be here, and I respect that. I don't impose that. I respect that. You see what I'm saying? And my mom, when she see me, I already know that's why she always, man, my mama, she emotional now. She an angel. I love the hell out of my mama. Everybody know when you see my mama, it's all love. But it's she's just amazing. But she's emotional because she realizes. She looks and says, this was not supposed to happen. Every time she see me, my bro ran away because the shit was too hard. Sis ran away, shit was too hard because nobody wanted to deal with it, not even my mama. So I don't know, man. I just think it's very important that we respect the trauma that we saw because it affects the elixir of success that we all are trying to get to and consume at some point.
All right, that's real shit. Yeah. That is, man.
Yeah, and a lot of success, I'm sure you agree, is also about the process of trying to unlearn, certain traumas and certain experiences and patterns. Being able to face it and be trauma informed, and then create a new formula to unlearn that. Right. Which looks like what you did. You know what I'm saying, bro? That's an amazing story. It
is.
I mean, Mighty been through a lot. And he got that story about that. He always tell me.
That's what this is for, man.
About
somebody else done been
sleeping
through
in the car. Yeah. Was it a Buick?
It was an '89 Buick.
A Buick. You know what I'm saying? Like. We talking about sleeping in the car and gaining control of your mind and your life, man.
Bro, I still sleep like this. I got a big ass bed. I got a king size bed.
Still sleep like in the back
sleep like I'm in a sleeping bag, bro. Because that's all
your body is used to.
Bro, I'm conformed. You talking about unlearning? My body is still. It's muscle memory, bro. Yeah. It's so real that muscle memory has told me not to go that direction. Right. Not to, I don't know, man. I don't know. You touching on some
striking
like real
the chord
shit.
right now. Yeah, absolutely. There ain't nothing wrong with it, bro. I mean, showing the struggle is important because people only see the successes. They don't really know what we've been. People don't really know what we've been through, though, man.
Yeah.
They don't really know where we've been.
No, you're right.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm saying. Man, them dark times, them is the times that people, if they was to see, be like, oh, I couldn't do it. They look and be like, God damn. Because when it gets dark, ain't no street lights.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
For real.
and when you're perfectly okay with not being on this planet anymore, when you're at that moment, which I've reached before when I was younger, when you're perfectly okay with not being here, that's a problem. And and that's trauma. That was trauma taking advantage of where I was at, and I was allowing it in, right? I was allowing negative energy to impose, right, instead of me using the positive energy to navigate. And so, in retrospect, it's crazy because music wouldn't have transcended the way it did if I wasn't perfectly okay with not being here. Victory, the song Victory has 30,000 views on YouTube, right? It got that in 6 months, but I had not released a record in 2.5 years after BET. I had been around the country. So success is prevalent at that moment, right? You don't see that I'm okay with perfectly leaving this earth and just being gone. But that's because I was not willing to tell my story. I wasn't open about what the hell was really going on. And in Victory, I speak about all of that. And Aaron showed me the production. Shout out to Aaron O'Brien Smith. He showed me the production and said, "You have to do music, bruh, because you've been through too much. You have to show people that you can do it.
They gotta hear that story,
man." And so Victory is what really brought me out of it. But if I wouldn't have gotten to that low point, that Victory wouldn't have never been there. And then we wouldn't be here, bro. We wouldn't be here. Facts.
You know what's funny? That just opened my mind to something I think all the time. Like when you look at like some of the best basketball players, or you look at the best football players, or the best artists, or the best, you know what I'm saying? They all came from struggle. It was never motherfuckers that was like spoon fed. It was always motherfuckers that really went through some shit in their life. You know what I'm saying? They was able to overcome it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you could look at the history on that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people. Because it's like when it come down to it, I always say there's no age on experience. It's like no matter if it's good or bad, it's great in life for you to have experiences and for you to go through shit. It don't matter how old you are. You know, sometimes people be like, "Oh, he's only 12. He shouldn't do that." Fuck that.
Yeah, whatever.
Go through it, man, and experience it because there's no age on experience. And in life, the sooner you learn about something, the sooner you, even if it hurts when you got to go through it, the sooner that you can deal with that and overcome it, because we all gonna have to go through it. It's life, you know what I'm saying? Period. Right. Like I said, we all go through it at different times, but as soon as the sooner you can go through stuff and get over it and overcome it, and it just make you stronger. There is no age on that, you know what I'm saying? You got to get that. You got to do that as soon as possible. Man. You know what I'm saying? And there's some people in life that, you know, by circumstance, they just had to go through way more than you. Right. But sometimes them people come out on the other end, they way more hungry than you. Their passion is different because you don't even understand that shit. You know what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying? Like it's
100.
It's like some people just got a whole different passion because of what they've been through. You know what I mean? And it's like that's like speed and that's like speed and height in the NBA. You can't teach that, man.
Right.
It just is what it is.
And your experiences, man, you got to study. You know what I mean? Like if there's anything you can be raised without a father, a mom, or no influence. At some point, your experiences got to be your parents, man. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta do that homework. And this is how you kind of learn what you like and what you don't like. Right. This is how you learn what works and doesn't work. This is how you learn to make adjustments based off your circumstances. You know what I'm saying? All these things and this is how you grow. And as you grow, you become wiser. And the more wiser you are, you become successful. Yep. And so that's the whole thing. There's too many people that's going through things and not actually taking any education piece from it, man. And this is the main problem. This is why people are stuck in these old bodies with these young minds. You know, and that's why kids have parents, because parents are supposed to tell them, well, you did this wrong, you're supposed to do something different here. Next time, do something different, I'm going to beat your ass. Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so, and there got to be a transition where no one has to tell you when it's time to make another decision. You know, and if we make all the repetitive decisions that we've always made, we always stay in the same place. And this is why we see certain people progress and certain people stay at one level, because there are certain people that are seeing things happening and they're adjusting based off these things.
Nah, yeah, you're right.
And there's people doing these things over and over and over, but they just complain about them and keep doing them and think the world hates them.
Gerbils in a fucking hamster cage.
You know, and so please, man, like if you want to, you know, no matter what you was given, your experiences can teach you everything that you need to know. You know, we all come from sort of a rough life, a crazy background, you know, and nobody was really given no formula on how to do this shit.
Nah.
The formula was made because we tried certain things that we was, you know, risky enough to try, and at that trying thing, either we learned or we won or whatever the case is, we learned something, you know, and we added more to the formula. Keep moving.
I think it takes certain people. I think it takes certain people too along the way to believe in you, regardless of your circumstances.
Nah, you're right.
Right.
Most
so
definitely.
It's like they need to be able to see that in you, even when it's a little tattered and beaten up. You know what I'm saying? And I think all of us probably have certain people along the way that said, man, despite what you might be, where you might be at right now, I'm gonna fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? Because shout
out to Natalia.
Right. Like,
shout out to my mom.
Right.
Always
shout out to Giovanni. Right. Like everybody got
man, always believe.
But everybody got somebody, and I think when you start to push people away with that energy, you forget that one of those people you pushing away could have been somebody that saw that in you. And you start to put yourself in that hamster cage slowly and not even knowing it. So I don't know. I know I connected with you when you opened up about you losing your mama. Like, I could never imagine that, but I do have people that are extremely close to me that have as well. And the way that that you were so articulate about how it affected you and how you used it and didn't let it, beat you down. Right. That made me want to support you even more, because I realized, man, that's a hardship I can never imagine. Right. And so there's just key things, man, that where your success can transcend. And if you don't respect the energy at that moment or the spirituality or the bigger thing, then you might have already lost the race. You feel me? And it's unfortunate, but not everybody's going to get there. Right. The separation is that of the nature. Right. It's going to be that way. Yeah. Right. In nature, it is what it is. A shark, goldfish ain't eating a shark, bro. It just ain't. It just ain't.
Yeah,
you feel me?
It's
never gonna happen. So I think it's also natural for some people to just be that way. And I just, man, again, we sitting here and the energy in the room and the context of what we're talking about. If you're not really soaking this up right now, I don't know what to tell you, man. Right. This is crazy.
Yeah, this is crazy. Real talk. So I man, we digging deep, man. I just want to know who has been like your, your biggest inspiration, or if you got more than one person.
Who you look up to, man?
Who or what has been your biggest inspiration? You know what I'm saying?
You started doing this, bro.
Yeah, I'd have to say, there was a pivotal moment when I was a kid. Coach Phil, he was a police officer, and he was also my basketball coach. Mm-hmm. He had me on 3 different squads, AAU and all that, and I was balling. And he was like, "This kid is crazy." Like I wasn't showing up at school. I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing. Super smart in all the smart classes, but didn't do no homework. Passed the test. Right. So I was really doing this weird stuff, and he could tell something ain't right. He need to something is wrong at home. And he would pull up to the Powell Youth Center. This is when I first moved out there, and he'd pull up and flash his lights like, boop, boop, you know what I'm saying? And I'd be like, man, I used to hate going back to the apartments in a fucking police car, bro. Like, it was fucking embarrassing as shit. And he would make me sit in the back, too. Like, yeah, they gonna think you did something wrong. You feel me? And so I started hiding in the bushes to get away from this positive energy. Mm-hmm. I was so young, but I was like, I would hide in the bushes. I'll never forget this one time he hit me with the light, and I was in the bushes. He was like, "Get your motherfucking ass out the bushes." And but he was so relentless, and he saw that in me when I was extremely young. And I mean, I was hitting game winners, bro. I was scoring 30. I'm like, I shoot the lights out. I'll tell you right now, I'm a baller, bro. Yeah. And that he just was like, this little kid is crazy when it comes to hoop. And he wanted to give me an outlet, and I think he taught me how to do that. And he was just very he was unforgiving, man. You feel me? He was a hard-headed coach, and he kind of met me where I was at. But that was a huge inspiration when I went back and started Laced Up PDX, and I started working in my community right before BET. I would have flashbacks of me being Phil. Like I would walk in and be like, "Hey man, y'all need to," and I'm like, "Oh my god."
You thinking to yourself like, "Damn, I sound just like you."
I'm Phil. I got a sweatsuit on, like I'm Phil. I'm shooting with my eyes closed, wet, and they like, "Oh man, look at Big Mighty." Like you can ask Lance. That's where me and Lance went to the same, youth center. We would ball at the Powell Youth Center back when I was like 8 years old. What? And so like I go way back with these folks, and that's a real thing. Like Coach Phil was huge, but really to be honest, Giovanni, and I'd say probably in music, I'd have to say her son Richard. There was these two folks. She's my second mother. When my mom left, I was taken from my community. I was taken from my community in a really fucked up way, and I was doing it. I was really successful at it, and I was making a stupid amount of money for no fucking reason. But it was all survival. Everything was survival at that time. Yeah. And she saw it. My best friend was her son, and he was starting to go down the same road. She like, oh, hell to the motherfucker, no. Yeah. He ain't going with you. And so she said, if you need somewhere to live, you can come stay with me. And so I think her seeing me in my darkest moments, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, dirty money, and it was just not, I put her family in danger. I did some stupid shit, but she never gave up on me. She never gave up on me. And that's inspiring because she has this relentlessness. She lost her mother to to an unsolved murder. Yeah. And I could never imagine. And she still believes in me no matter what. And it's like, I feel like she gave me that. I got a piece of her energy, and I don't know, man. It's that's just, she really, I remember she told me, she said, you're not supposed to be here, but you are. So what the fuck are you finna do? And I'm like, man, I felt responsibility like a motherfucker. Yeah. And so after that, bro, I graduated with a 3.89, got my bachelor's degree, human development, like, traveled the country, was shining on them, bro. Yeah. Like, was doing whatever the fuck I wanted to do. And it was because, I felt like I had a responsibility, and that inspires me more than anything in music or in endeavors. I think it's much deeper than that, and I don't mean to be so long-winded, but those are the two that really come to mind.
Man, that's important. Hey, real quick before we get into the Ratchet of the week, you Brian about to act up. Who's your favorite artist in Portland, in the town? Who's your favorite local? Who do you like out here?
Favorite local artist? I'd have to say right now I really like Swiggle Mandela, man. Swiggle Mandela is really tight to me, man. And why I do is because I've known Swiggle since really young, and he does not conform. And I really believe that if he could tighten up some of those loose ends that he has right now, he's not afraid to do nothing but music. Yeah. He's not afraid to throw his own show and put Cool Nuts on it. Mm-hmm. He's not afraid. He is manipulating the energy in such a great way that I buy every album. I buy a lot of albums. If you can ask a lot of artists in the city, I will show up. I will pay cash, and I specifically do that. I stream music on purpose because I know what it means to them. I really do. And I don't know, just his sound, man. He's very nonchalant. Speaking of Swiggle, I got him on a record coming out called They Don't Want to See. It's featuring Swiggle Mandela. It's featuring Sour D's. Sour D's is lit.
Sour D's is my guy.
And I've known him since he was like 5 years old. Giovanni used to watch him. So Denzel is my folks. Sour D's, and it's also featuring Young Mill. It's all of the young OGs on one record.
I'm visual.
All on one record. All on one record. It's some shit that they don't want to see.
What?
And that's next. So, Swiggle Mandela by far one of my favorite artists in the city.
Shout out Swiggle, man. Real talk. You know what I mean?
Off top, Swiggle, what up? Yeah, where we at?
You know what I'm saying?
What time is it?
You know what time it is, man. Shout out to my guy Mighty. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate having him. Good game, passion, hustle. Look for him, like we said on Instagram, at It's Mighty, at ITZMIGHTY. For you motherfuckers that can't spell.
Okay.
Hey, he did. He killed that, dog.
Yeah.
Hey, come on, man. I know what I'm doing, nigga. I'm a new school Donnie Simpson, nigga.
Most niggas be like ITS.
No, nigga. Most
they do that look. They do that look, though.
Yeah. Most niggas can't spell, so they wouldn't even say it. Right. But I can spell. But
tap in.
Yeah, you already know, man. We're gonna get into this motherfucking Ratchet of the week. The Ratchet of the week this week is Carmelo Anthony playing for the Portland Trailblazers.
Carmel, no.
Yeah.
Why he a ratchet, man?
Okay, so this is why this is the Ratchet of the week, because first off, you know what I'm saying, like, man, I don't have too much to say about Melo. Like I said, his ego is bigger than his dick. No homo. He always had he always had a big name coming out of Q's. He won as a freshman. He won the fucking he won the championship.
Yeah.
Came out and I liked him. And I thought he was gonna come in the league. I thought he was gonna be like a LeBron type. You know, he came out right around that time. He's always just been. I mean, he's a scorer, but he's never really done anything. You know what I'm saying?
Well, his defense is fucking trash.
His defense is non-existent.
His defense is fucking trash.
Terrible.
A lot of people say that he's good at everything, great at nothing. And I know that's harsh, but that's real. That's real reality. And especially, you can't play in a generation where you have somebody like LeBron James and be successful and not be great at anything.
Yeah, nah, for real.
There were people that played when Jordan played that you will never talk about because they just played at the wrong time. Yeah. And I think he's a perfect example of that.
If basketball was a one-on-one game, he'd be nice, but he might be a champion, but he's not, because it's a team game. Defense is terrible. Right. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to it, he never did anything. Every team he went to, a couple years ago when he played for the Knicks, the niggas won 13 games the whole fucking season, and in the last 20 games he just gave up. He's like, oh yeah, he tried to act like he was hurt or something.
Yeah, he was shooting around.
You know what I'm saying? So basically, what I'm saying is the Ratchet of the week, because it's kind of like I'm using him in the comparison as like one of these ratchets out here. You know what I'm saying? that.
Let's try to get the game
Yeah. No. One of these ratchets out here that want to try to come fuck with me, but they stats ain't right. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
The broad is averaging 0.2 points per game, 0.1 assists, and 7 fouls. Oh.
7 fouls?
My bad, I mean 6. You can only get 6 to foul out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Fouled out with an
So
you put up with this every show right here, every
show. So what I'm saying is it's like, come on, bro. You came to the Blazers, you know what I'm saying? We picked up a black hole, you know what I'm saying? We might as well call this nigga the fucking solar system, because when you pass him the rock, the game he played last night, nigga was 4 for 14. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, bro. We picked up, you know what I'm saying? We picked up a black hole, man.
Right.
We picked up a booty hole, man. We picked up a booty hole,
right.
man. You know what I'm saying?
Just put an extra body out there.
Mellow booty hole Anthony, man. We picked up a booty hole. You pass the nigga the ball, and he's going to suck it up his booty. He's going to shoot it back out, and nobody's going to get it, man. You know what I'm saying? Real talk.
Ratchet of the week. Ratchet of the week.
Let's just keep it real. If I'm saying anything wrong, man. If y'all want to chime in, I'm just keeping it real.
Leave some comments.
Melo
about
has
this
never
shit.
done anything, man. You know, LeBron got rings. You know what I'm saying? Kawhi got rings. You know what I'm saying?
And Melo had braids.
Yeah, but that ain't got nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? And niggas know too. You know what I'm saying? If we see Lala, matter of fact, that's another reason this ratchet, because you know how Lala was acting on Power.
Right. I thought
Lala was on Power.
They broke up, right? Or no?
Getting that white chocolate like Jason Williams, straight up the middle. You know, Tommy was banging him out. You know what I'm saying? Nips out and all that. So, matter of fact, too. Hey, you know what's funny is my nigga Lowe's. Shout out my nigga Lowe's. My nigga Lowe's said Carmelo Anthony's gonna be at a dispensary in 162nd and Burnside.
Bro, you feel me?
Said he gonna be on a dispensary in 162nd and Burnside with some Stackin kick sweats
with his own strain. He gonna have a black mannequin bralette on.
They got a Melo Anthony strain, the 00. And why is that nigga 00, bro?
He had a
not Ducksworth, nigga Sucksworth. You feel me?
Like,
don't take Duckworth old number, nigga.
Booty hole.
Yeah, man, come on, man. Carmelo the black hole Anthony.
2 cheeks.
Yo, bro. Yeah, hey. Look, he should be a coach, because the nigga's mo cheeks. The nigga's straight ass. That nigga should be a coach. Y'all niggas remember Maurice Cheeks? That nigga Melo should be a coach, nigga. Mo Cheeks, cause the nigga is ass. You feel me? Ass.
Bro, you didn't tell me about
You know what I'm
this. You didn't
saying?
tell me about this.
I didn't know
Mo
about this.
Cheeks, nigga. Ass.
Oh,
Butthole.
my face hurt.
You know what I'm saying? And now when it come down to it, we already got CJ, we got Dame. You know what I'm saying? Now we'll take Lala.
Why did they bring him here anyway? Why is Melo here?
Why did they say he finna go off?
Because
Melo's
Melo's here because the Blazers, because the Blazers and their coaching staff, well, not the coaching staff, they can't say that. I'm saying the GMs and all that. We don't want too good of a team. Like I was explaining to Mighty earlier, we're in a city to where there's no other professional teams. So even if our shit is mediocre, people are still gonna believe in the Blazers.
Tickets are gonna sell.
Tickets are gonna sell regardless because it's something to do in this fucking godforsaken place. It's something for people to do, you know what I'm saying? Besides fucking drive their bikes all over the fucking road.
So ain't no way in the hell they finna pay no high salary player. Then.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You gotta think. The better the players we got, the tickets finna go up. Right. Nigga, we got a LeBron. Nigga, you're not sitting in the 100 level for $37. Bro, it's gonna be 107.
But let me tell you something though. If you really know ball, don't nobody play till motherfucking April. So like, really, what does this even mean? You 1-7, shit. So what? You got 90 games to play. Right?
That's
like,
true.
what
That's
the fuck? Like, now it's different in football, but in basketball, genuinely in Portland, I mean, it's a half a year. Yeah. You know what I mean? Of
fucking around.
Yeah, and then you get to the meat and potatoes. So if Dame don't get his back right, because right now, you know, he got spasms and shit. If he don't get right, you know what I mean? Then he gonna have a problem on his hands because he just signed that extension. You feel me?
Is Melo gonna step in and take over for Dame?
Lord, please no.
Is Melo gonna play Dame?
Oh,
is he gonna bring the ball up?
Oh my God,
nigga, we finna go 0-14. We gonna be the new Knicks. and then you know what? I'm gonna just say this. I fucked with Melo before this, no homo. Like, that was my guy, but it's like, I ain't gonna lie. I really stopped liking Melo when he played for the Knicks that season, and I think that they was like 13-68. There was something crazy, right? But the last 20 games of the season, they were so ass. Mo cheeks. They were so ass. You know what I'm saying? That this nigga the nigga wasn't even hurt. He just stopped playing. And to me, a true champion, I don't give a fuck if you average 90 points a game. Nigga, are you winning? Because that's what the NBA, that's what playing basketball is about. That's what sports is about. It's about winning. You know what I'm saying? So you can go out and your individual stats, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of niggas that had individual stats is fucking retarded. You know what I'm saying? But them niggas went out like Patrick Ewing, hurt knees and no rings. You feel me? So, I mean, you know, you just you know what I'm saying? You got to just really think about it. Like, man, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. I don't have to justify Melo being the Ratchet of the Week because we already know, man.
13. You need a Ratchet of the Week button.
I know.
Like the shit need to make a dope ass sound where it's just like it's like rap.
They're like Donkey of the Week from the Breakfast Club. Yeah. Oh, you right. We need that. Just Ratchet. Asa. Yeah. Get that Ratchet button out.
Shout out to P-Town Media, man. Asa for being behind the scenes, man. Back there with his hands in his pocket like he's somebody's father at a graduation.
Yeah, man, real talk. Hey, and all you motherfuckers watching this shit, however we want to hear about Melo in the comments, man. Get in the comments. Tell us how you feel about Melo. You know what I'm saying? It's a controversial kind of issue. You know what I'm saying? I think the nigga ass. His nickname should be Mo Cheeks. I don't know what these niggas think.
Look, I think it really don't matter until April. But I feel you on him giving up. I think in Denver he was an incredible ball player. Again, he doesn't play defense, but when you
niggas didn't get out the playoffs the first round.
Hey, but when he went against face to face against Kobe Bryant in his prime, that boy was holding. He was holding, bro. Yeah. I mean, I watched that whole game live, and that shit was incredible to watch.
Credit is due for his individual skill.
Right. But yeah, you're right. He doesn't bring a role player vibe to a team that already has a star franchise player. Yeah. But and let's keep it real. You don't do a goddamn press conference about not having a job with ESPN. This motherfucker sat down with Stephen A and said, "I don't got a goddamn job. Give me a job." So something ain't right. You the common denominator. And so I'm a little nervous about going this long with someone who doesn't know how to win anymore.
Exactly.
You feel me? Don't add that to the goddamn equation.
Exactly. No. Oh yeah. We about to wrap it up, but hey, real talk. Melo is like an old popular stripper. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't want to say that, but yeah.
Melo is like an old popular stripper, like one of the bitches that when she was 24, 25 working down at the Exotica, niggas was like, "Whoa!" But now she's 35. You feel me?
4 kids.
Yeah, and she's not winning no more. You know what I'm saying? And so look, so when Melo comes in the gym, it's just like when that old bitch come in the strip club. Niggas be gathered up. Man, here come this bitch. Still think she got it. This bitch gonna shoot 0 for 17.
Dusty
this bitch titties at her kneecaps and the motherfucking pussy blown out like a tire on a 205. You know what I'm saying? Fuck out of here, man.
Ratchet of the Week.
Ratchet of the Week,
man. Ratchet of the Week, man.
Ratchet of the Week, you know what I'm saying? So Man, you know, we want to end this episode. You know what I'm saying? Y'all already know episode 8, mighty important.
Mighty important.
Shout out to my guy.
Mighty
at,
important, man.
It's mighty, like I said again, at ITZMIGHTY.
Yes,
You
sir.
feel me?
That's right.
At Stackin Kicks, at The Real Black Mannequin, at P-Town Media.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We had a good time with my guy today, man. Appreciate you
bro.
coming through, man.
Absolutely,
Love, man. You
bro.
know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I hope y'all enjoyed, you know what I'm saying?
Episode 8.
In the books.
And
Mighty
we out.
important.
Stackin' Black, man.
Jill.
See you.